today on Divorce Court.
Tim freaking ruined our marriage because he doesn't remember the next day what he said or did.
I think Lakeisha's cheating on me because she's sneaky. Well, I hired your cell phone. I don't even know what her cell phone ringer sounds like.
I think he's a sex addict because he's constantly on porn sites. He's always asking me for threesomes.
Instead of talking, she likes to yell and scream.
And it's either his way or no way.
I would like to be with Lakeisha, I love her, but right now it's hard to say.
Divorce Court is now in session.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Lakeisha Rye and Timothy Taylor. The two of you have been together for 8 years, married for 5, and you have 1 child together, and you each have children from previous relationships. Mr. Taylor, you back again.
Yes, ma'am.
I saw you, different woman, different marriage.
Yes.
But he was here before. And
So I've heard.
before we go forward, I want everybody to see what we did the last time Mr. Taylor brought a wife to divorce court.
Well, we're in the process of making love. He told me that I'm his main girl, but I'm not his only girl. Yeah.
I did tell her that, but at the same time, it was time to end the charade. It was too much going on in my life. I had too many women I was juggling, trying to hide from her, and it just got too hard. I just had to call it quits.
Don't you feel awfully small behind that?
No, I don't, Your Honor. I don't feel bad about it at all.
You don't feel badly about
No, I
hurting
don't.
someone like that at all? Someone who had done nothing but love and care and pay your bills. You hurt her terribly at a very, very vulnerable moment, and you don't feel badly about it at all.
I didn't really know that I didn't want to be with her until I met the person that I'm with now.
Whoa. Is she the person you were with then?
Yes, she is.
At that now?
Yes, she is.
No, Your Honor, I'm not.
No, what?
No, ma'am, not at all.
Ms. Rye, why don't you tell me what's going on in your relationship that has brought you to divorce court?
Tim is a big sex addict. I am tired all the time, so he always wants to have sex. Sex. If it's not from me, it's from somebody else. I've done fought prostitutes. Here recently, my daughter caught him on the couch at his mother's house with another prostitute.
Oh, she's
fight
definitely,
prostitutes?
She's
Oh,
definitely
yes,
lying.
ma'am. Soon after I had my son, I had to get in a fight with a girl.
Tell me what happened.
I confronted her a while and asked her, I'm hearing that you're dealing with my husband, and she denied it. And actually, I happened to call and check my voicemail, and when I checked my voicemail, Mr. Taylor accidentally called my phone and left a nice message with him talking to the girl on my voicemail.
Mr. Taylor, did all of that occur?
All of this did occur, Judge, but the thing that she's not telling you the truth about is these girls aren't prostitutes. And if they are, they don't tell me about it. I'm not paying them.
Right.
It's not my fault these girls are out there doing extracurricular activities.
So what you're telling me is, Mr. Taylor, yes, I'm sleeping with other women around on my wife, and yes, they may be prostitutes, but I ain't paying them. This is your point.
Now, she does her investigations on the females, and she finds out that, yeah, these girls might be dibbling and dabbling like that, but when I meet them, they come to the barbershop and I cut their kids' hair. We go out and have, it's never a discussion of money. It's not like I'm paying for sex.
Do you have any feelings that you ought to be monogamous? And do you find the fact that you're sleeping with other women at all problematic?
I do, Judge, I do. And to set the record straight, I've been with Lakeisha for 8 years, and I haven't touched or looked at another woman for 5 years. I've been completely faithful for 5 years.
So ever since you said I do with her, because you've been married 5 years,
Exactly.
right?
Ever since
so
I said I
5 of
do,
the 8 years, none of this
nothing.
happened.
And then recently, I caught Lakeisha texting another guy, and all of that, like 2 different guys, that's when I moved out. That's when all the problems started again.
Okay.
She started it.
I got you. Now, Ms. Rye, you claim that he's been unfaithful recently. Tell me the most recent time you caught him.
The recent time is he was at his mother's house, and First off, I see him in the car with this young lady. He tells me nothing happened with me and this girl. I didn't sleep with her or none of that. We just went to my mom's house and got in the jacuzzi. You went to your mama's house, though. You couldn't even pay for a room.
I did pay for a room the first night.
Mr. Taylor!
Like I said, Judge, we've been separated for 3 months. I live with my mother. That's why I took her to my mother's house. My mother would sleep.
How was
got
it?
a big backyard. We go get in the jacuzzi. My mother would never know.
Get your own house and take her to your house. How about that?
What caused you two to separate to begin with?
Her texting the next guy. I caught her phone. She had an alarm on her phone, and it went off about 5 o'clock in the morning. So I went and looked at the phone. It was up in the closet in the purse. It's not a regular phone. It's like an old phone. So I opened it up. I look at the phone. Open it up, and she's in a DM texting some guy. What are you doing? So I get on his Facebook, and I look him up. I see his pictures, his face.
Right.
And then I call him.
Right.
We have a discussion, and he says, yeah, that's my partner. I've been talking to her for a minute now. We hang out sometimes and all of that.
That's not what he said.
What did he say?
He said, that's my partner, and I know her. And from there, he takes one story and runs with it.
Right.
So he hears one word, and he think he know what he's talking about.
That's my partner. That's a little bit intimate. Anything other than that's my partner that leads you to believe that she was sexually involved with this guy?
Well, you know, we was sharing a car, and she dropped me off, and then I went to another store right before I went into my business. So I stopped by the driver's side door, and I opened it up to give her a kiss, and she was talking on the phone that I've never seen before, and she drops it and tries to act like she wasn't even on the phone. And I was like, well, give me that phone. And we got into a big argument. I never got to see the phone, and she drove off with the phone. I never got to see who she was trying to call.
Do you recall the struggle over the phone?
I sure do recall.
What happened with the phone?
I was talking on the phone, but it wasn't to a man or anything like that. It was more of a personal situation.
This is a secret cell phone I've never seen before.
It was more of a personal situation. You looking so guilty over there, Ms. Rye. I mean, it's just, you know, you do everything. You got everything on but a T-shirt that said, I did it. So we know something was up.
Something's up, definitely.
He was getting ready to take a shower, and he gets his underwear out of the drawer, sits them on the bed, and he comes out, he looks at the underwear, and he smells them. His words are, these ain't mine, this is another man's. The next day, he's saying they're not his, he burns them in the backyard.
You say Mr. Taylor has a drinking problem. Why don't you tell me the nature of that problem?
Yes, ma'am, he has a big drinking problem. He'll drink and he'll forget the next day what he has said or done. He gets real belligerent when he drinks, angry, and it's not just with me, it's in front of our children. It's just too much for me to bear. Like, I try to explain to him, you know, if you're gonna drink, how about you pour your beer into a cup? Instead, he'll walk around with the bottle, and I just don't think that's a good example setting for our kids. One day, he was getting ready to take a shower, and he gets his underwear out of the drawer, sits them on the bed, yep, I'm telling, sits them on the bed, and he goes in the shower. When he comes out, he looks at the underwear, and he smells them. His words are, these ain't mine, this is another man's. So in my mind, I'm thinking if they're another man's, why would you even be smelling them? And first of all, if I'm cheating, I definitely wouldn't be telling the man to hurry up and put his drawers in his drawer. Makes no sense. Shortly after that, the next day, he's saying they're not his. He burns them in the backyard. He burns them. And I'm doing laundry the next day, and I happen to come across some boxers, same size as the ones that he burnt up. He's asleep. So I wake him up and hit him with the boxers. What size are these? He doing his eyes all like this. He don't know. He's very, he trips out when he drinks.
Mr.
He takes that to a whole nother level.
Do you recall sniffing your own boxers?
Luckily they were my underwear.
To another man.
Luckily they were mine, so I wasn't sniffing another man's underwear.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Did you believe they weren't yours?
I really believe they were mine. I didn't recognize them. And we weren't living together at the time. I was in and out. So there's plenty of opportunity for another man to...
So you thought if you sniffed him, you would be able to catch the scent of another dude?
Why would you sniff the next man draws? I don't understand.
No, you just work with me here. Work with me.
You're making me look bad like I'm a jaw sniffer, but that's not the case, Judge. I was mistaken. I looked at the jaws.
Were you drunk?
And they...
See, I would go with that. Were you drunk?
I was drunk.
Okay.
He's always drunk, Your Honor. He's always drunk.
That's a bad story right there. That's not a good story.
Do you think you have a problem with alcohol?
I don't think I have a problem with alcohol, Judge, because I work hard, and when I get off work, I deserve a drink. Maybe sometimes I have one or two too many sometimes here and there.
One or two too many. How often do you have one or two too many?
It's rare. It's maybe 2 or 3 months here and there. And this...
Every 2 or 3 months here and there.
What did he say? What?
About once every 2 or 3 months.
That you drink?
No, that I have, an argument or like a blackout and I don't remember an issue.
Well, are you blacking out every couple of months?
Well, it's not blacking out. It's just that we get into a bad argument and I don't remember the argument the next morning.
The next morning,
I'm like...
He wants to kiss the next morning.
I'm like, why are you mad at me? Why are you on the couch? And she's like, oh, you don't remember what you said to me last night and all that, but sometimes I gotta get it off my chest.
Do you argue with him when he's drunk?
Your Honor, oh my goodness. I try my best to hold my peace and let the Lord fight it. But he just so happens to not listen. He don't listen, Your Honor. When I tell him, leave me alone, Tim, you taking me there, leave me alone, you pipe down, he keep going. So when you poke a crab, what do? They snap at you. So, hey.
Are you concerned at all about your level of inebriation in front of your children? I mean, you got little people in the house, right?
Yes, Judge, and I do take them into consideration when I drink. And like I said, it's never intentional that I go too far with my drinking. It's never intentional.
Yeah.
I admit that is a flaw that I have. It might be my one flaw.
Your one flaw?
It might be my one flaw.
Everything else. All right. Mr. Taylor, we've been talking about you for a while, so I'm going to ask you to tell me the one thing about Ms. Rye that is the most damning and the reason why you believe your relationship isn't working out.
She doesn't know how to just be a wife. She wants to be out. She wants to be getting talked to. She likes attention. It's never that she goes out looking for it, but when it comes, she's not...
She doesn't turn it down. She doesn't turn it away.
Right.
Ms. Rye, what is your response to that allegation? You've been fighting a lot of allegations here, Mr. Taylor, so I want to give you an opportunity to tell me what you believe Ms. Rye has done to contribute to the breakdown of this marriage.
Well, my wife, she's a very beautiful woman, and her main thing is she doesn't know how to just be a wife. She wants to be out. She wants to be getting talked to. She likes attention. She doesn't want to just stay at home, be a stay-at-home mom.
You lying.
Why
are you lying?
When
she goes out and she wants attention, do you say she goes out to clubs and wants attention from men? And what's she doing? What's she saying? What's she wearing?
It's not that she goes out looking for it. It's just that she doesn't turn it away. She gets guys' phone numbers from she gives her phone number out of, like, every guy that she's ever met. Oh, I was just bumping to her at the store. It's never that she goes out looking for it, but when it comes, she's not...
She doesn't turn it down. She doesn't turn it away.
Right.
Ms. Rye, what is your response to that allegation?
Your Honor, he lying. I don't go out. And the last time I did go out, we were together. So what are you talking about?
Ms. Rye, you say he's verbally abusive. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
Give me a good example of the kind of verbal abuse you have to suffer.
Oh, my goodness. He tells me, mind you, my mother is deceased. I don't want to cry. But he tells me, you're going to be just like your mother, alone and don't have nothing. He tells me, you got 2 kids by 2 different baby daddies, which is him and my previous relationship. Ain't nobody gonna want you. I can do better than you. I want to have a threesome. Like, that type of stuff right there makes me feel bad, because if you want to have a threesome, then I'm not enough for you. So that makes me question myself as a woman. Right. What's wrong with me? What am I not doing right? And Judge, I tried to do everything for him as a wife and be supportive. I did everything. Dress sexy for him. When I do that, he blaming me. Oh, why you got the lingerie on? What man did you have in here tonight?
Mr. Taylor, is she accurate in the things she says you say, or...
Well, Judge, that right there, the stuff that she says I said, that's that junk talk that she was referring to. That's the stuff that I don't remember in the morning.
Right.
That I said. So you can't even count that stuff because at the end of the day, I tell her that she's beautiful. I tell her that I love her. And I make up for her financially. I take care of her, everything for her. I bought the hair, I bought the nails, I bought, like,
I
take care of her.
As you
know
should.
What I'm saying?
As you should.
I still do.
As you should.
No matter what, Judge, I got her back.
Right.
I got scars on my hands right now for working on her car because her car broke down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
I
you
got
know,
her.
it all counts, whether you're drunk or not. All of that counts. Every dart, you know what I mean? I can't be drunk with a gun and shoot at you and say, oh, the bullet didn't count because I was drunk.
Yeah, I'm a Sour Patch Kid. I'm sour and I'm sweet. You gotta take the good with the bad. But at the same time, I'm way more sweet than I've ever been sour, Judge.
You way more
and
sweet than you've been
she won't
sour.
even deny it.
Well, I'm gonna move on forward to the financial problems that you have because they are significant and it appears you're not the only woman he has them with. You say you have financial difficulties, Mrs. Rye, because of what he spends his money on. Tell me what you mean by that.
He buys jewelry. He wants to put beat in his car.
He wants to put what in his car?
Music.
Oh, okay.
Sound systems. He's very flossy. My mom used to always... Flossy. My mom used to always say, champagne tastes with beer money. That's basically the situation.
Well, that's never been the situation with me because I have the money to take care of and buy whatever I want. And second, I don't do all that stuff like that. We spend more money on her hair and her nails than anything
else.
Or eating out.
What happened when the apartment caught on fire? Weren't you guys rendered homeless for a period of time?
Yes, we were rendered homeless, Judge, because...
Tell me what happened.
I think this was her fault because we were supposed to have renter's insurance so we wouldn't fall flat on our face after that situation unfortunately happened. So we ended up having to live with my brother for about 3 or 4 months so we get another apartment.
Well, how come you didn't have renter's insurance?
Because she forgot to pay the bill or, bought some cannabis or something.
I'm going to say being irresponsible. Right. I'm going to say being irresponsible. And then, too, I was taking care of my mother.
Right.
I was taking care of my mom, and I just wasn't really focused at the time, just trying to focus more on my mother and her health before she passed.
Was her mother dying at that point in time?
Not at that point in time, Judge. Her mom was just fine.
Let me ask you this, Ms. Rye.
You
claim that he's a deadbeat dad. In what respect is he a deadbeat dad?
I wouldn't say deadbeat dad like that, but I just would say as far as being a good example to his children, as far as how he talks to their mother in front of them.
I understand that economically, though, you don't believe he's taking care of your kids like he should, and that he has other kids that he's not taking care of like he should.
Nah, Judge, that's not the case. I take care of my kids. If it's anything, she needs to step up more hours on her job. I work 7 days a week, 7 days a week. I work 7 days a week.
And he doing more than working at his job. That's where he found the prostitute at.
There's so much going on here. I'm going to have to take a small recess, collect myself. We're going to come back and readdress these issues. And the first thing we're going to do is hear from the wife you brought here the first time you were here.
Whoa.
You ain't complaining about him running around and doing wrong things. Is that not how you got him to begin with?
And when I met him, I knew that he was married, yes. I did back up from him because of that. He ended up sleeping with the wife that you just showed here on camera on me. It's a back and forth
He did a replay of the former wife?
He did a replay.
Did you do that?
They constantly kept sleeping with each other.
Do you still do that? There is a woman who begs to differ, and let's hear from her at this point in time.